Hello my friends, welcome to another Pilates Reformer workout. My name is Melanie, your mildly goth Pilates instructor. Today we're going to be doing a full body Reformer workout. Do me a favor, put your headrest in the downward position, place on 2 red springs or 2 heavy springs, and meet me lying down on the machine. Before we get started, please hit the subscribe button because I want to see you again, pretty please. Let's get our head down on the headrest in the lowered position. Scoot your shoulders away from the shoulder blocks, arches of the feet on the outer corners of the foot bar, arms by your side, or extend it up to the ceiling, whatever's more comfortable for you. We're gonna go for pelvic lifts, so kind of like a baby bridge. Big breath in, shoulders rolled back. We're just gonna lift the pelvis up and lower it down. Good, so we're articulating through the spine, finding each bone as we roll it up. Back of the neck is really long. Try not to move the carriage, and rolling the spine 1 vertebra at a time. Feeling the bottom of the sacrum hit the mat. Nice and heavy, so I'm not imprinted as I come down. I've got that natural curve. Let's take a few more. We're trying to use our lower abdominals here to lift. Of course, you're gonna get glutes and hamstrings with each lift, but think about starting from those abs. Good, let's take one more in this articulated position. Good, now we're gonna go for a neutral spine lift. So we're not articulating, we're just lifting the butt and the hips up and down, trying to keep the carriage still. And think about engaging the abs before you lift up to make sure that work is centralized in the abdominals. Good, getting maybe a little bit harder to control the carriage and keep it still. Just do your best. Last 2, exhaling as you lift. And 1. Bring that carriage all the way home. Take tiny pulses up and down, just an inch or 2 or a couple centimeters. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep it in the abs. 3. Glutes are squeezing. Hamstrings. 2, 1. Roll the spine down 1 bone at a time. Close the stopper if it got away from you. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock your head side to side. Let's move on to our full bridges. So now we're going to place the arches of the feet on the foot bar, arms wherever you like, down by your sides or up over the shoulders, legs in parallel, knees right in line with your hips and your toes. Take a deep breath in, exhale. We're going to roll the spine up, find your bridge, full bridge now, diagonal line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders, roll it back down. So we're probably going to get quite a bit more hamstrings in this position now. Rolling up, 2 more like this. Taking care not to pop the rib cage up or arch the back. If you feel it in your back a little too much, you can take a little tuck under with the pelvis, but if you can, trying to find a neutral spine. We're going to hold here, extend the carriage out, bringing the legs long, bending the knees, bringing it all the way home to the stopper, kind of on an upward diagonal. Let's find a nice pace here so we're not going in slow motion. Well, taking care not to slam the stopper home. Good. Look, it's a little hard on this spring load, but almost tap it without slamming it. I'm having a little bit of a hard time today, but that's okay. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way home. We're going to pause here, back of the neck really long, tiny pulses, squeezing the glutes. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in, exhale, roll the spine down, closing the stopper if it got away from you first. And relax. Quick stretch. Right ankle over the left knee, figure 4 stretch, pull it in toward your chest. Opposite side. Again, lightning fast, we'll do a deeper stretch later. Big inhale, roll up. If you want a little bit of a lighter spring load for arms, you can switch to 1 red and 1 blue, or 1 heavy and 1 extra light. If you want a little more resistance, you can stay on those 2 red. Next, you're going to find the straps, place them into your hands. We're going to bring the legs into tabletop. So knees over the hips, shins parallel to the ceiling, spine is neutral. Take a deep breath in, exhale, push the palms right down to the side of the body, bring them back up. You can stay here with the head down. Your other options, should you choose to accept them, bring the head, neck, and chest up. And you can combine that or take that in isolation with alternating legs, one going to 45 or lower as the arms press down, or you can bring the legs to 45 and bring them in or extend them and keep them there. I'm just going to keep the head down today, legs and tabletop for simplest option. You're welcome to take any of those options if you'd like. Good. Next time you press the hands down, we're going to go for our circles. Palms flip to face the hips, arms out to a T, bring the arms up above the shoulders. Exhale, press the palms down, flip the palms to face your body, out to a T, up over the shoulders. You can, of course, bring the head, neck, and shoulders up for this one. I personally prefer the way it feels with the head down, so take whichever option feels best to you. And of course, you can always extend a leg or two if you feel like you want the added core work here. This is a choose your own adventure kind of class. Good. Last one here. Feeling the back muscles warm up, we're now going to reverse. Arms out to the T. Squeeze them in toward the body. Palms flip down. Arms up over the shoulders. Continuing the circle. Let's find a little bit more of a pace here. Finding fluidity. Ensuring that that spine is not imprinting down. We've got that nice neutral spine. And again, you might have heard me say this before, excuse me. If you need a little support under your low back and neutral spine, you can roll up a washcloth or a small towel. Last one, we're going to press the palms down, hover the elbows above the mat. Very classic tricep extensions. Again, if you want to take the head, neck, and chest up, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to stay here with the head down, but you really want to focus on keeping the elbows tight to the rib cage as we bend and extend. Nice long line through the wrist too. I'm not bending or flexing that wrist to make sure that this is really staying in the muscles instead of in the joints. Let's go for 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Good. Raise the arms up over the shoulders, rest the feet down on the foot bar. We're going to move on. All right, lower abs. We're going to roll up, take off the blue spring, and we're going to be on just one red spring only. You're going to lie back down, flip the headrest to the downward position. You're going to take the straps, fold them over each other, so you've got a half loop, and I'm going to place one hand above the other. Scooting away from the shoulder blocks, arms right over the shoulders, legs in diamond or frog position. You're going to take a big breath in, exhale, push the hands through the legs, through that diamond shape. Warming up, getting upper abs right here. In a moment, we'll feel more of those low abs. Good. When you're feeling like this is comfortable, lift the head, neck, and chest as you press the arms through. Very important that you keep your elbows straight. Exhale as you press through. Good, let's go for 2 and 1. Pause here. We're going to lift the hips up and down. Let's go for 8, 7, shoulders back, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Release the straps, close the stopper, and reach down and lift your headrest up. Next, we're going to move on to stomach massage. So I am sitting up. I've got 2 red springs and a blue spring, or 2 heavies and a light. You're welcome to do 3 heavies if that feels better. I'm going to scoop my bottom pretty close to the front edge of the mat. If you have a sticky pad, you might want to put it under your butt if you have that available. If you don't, proceed with caution. So toes of the feet will be on the foot bar in Pilates V. I've got my heels pushed under. I'm going to grab onto the front edge of the carriage. I'm going to find a little scoop here. So I really want to find that C curve. So I'm really finding that nice big scoop. I'm going to take a big breath in, exhale. I'm going to extend the legs long, bring them back in, keeping the heels lifted for the first couple. Good. Now, as I extend low, I'm going to press the heels down, raise them up, bring them in. Extend long, heels go under the foot bar, still in that Pilates V. Lift it up, keeping that rib cage scooped back, belly button lifted in and up. I like kind of looking at my lower abdomen here. We're at the bottom edge of the carriage. Let's take another couple here. Putting lots of ab work. Good. Last one. Bring it all the way home. Now I'm going to sit up a little bit taller. Toes stay where they are. I'm going to reach for the shoulder blocks behind me. Knees are still as wide as my shoulders. I'm going to push out, press under, push out, bring it back in. So instead of that big curved spine, I'm sitting up a little bit taller. Less rounding through the low back, right? You're also welcome to bend the elbows behind you if that feels better. I prefer a straight arm myself. Take the option that works for you. Extend along, heels under, lift, bring it in. Find a little bit of a quicker pace. Last one. Good. Bring it all the way back. If you need to take off one spring next, you're welcome to. You're going to raise the arms on an upward diagonal, finding this still tall spine. Big breath in, lower the heels down, lift up, bring it in. Stable spine. A little tricky, right? Your gaze is going to be on that upward diagonal right above the line of your fingertips. Let's take 3 more. Good. Last 2. Heels stay together. There goes my light. I keep losing that battery. What the heck? Last one. Very nice. Close the stopper. So next, let's switch to one red spring only. Toes will curl under and feet will go up against the headrest. I'm going to find a nice long spine here. So I'm going to go down, pushing the arms straight out, opening up at the shoulders. My head is going to come in an upward diagonal. Good. Pressing out, finding a nice long extension. I'm pushing through the palms. I'm not pulling on the foot bar. Depending on the reformer model you're on, if you pull on the foot bar, it could send it to the downward position, which would not be fun for you. Good, feeling lots of core work here. Good. Let's take a few more, picking up the pace a little bit. And last one. Good, belly button is pulled in. Next, I'm going to hinge back, so my spine is in neutral, my butt's hovering above my heels. I'm going to press the knees out, bring them in. Press out, bring them in. Press out, bring them in. If you want a little bit more challenge, you could take a pause and add on another spring here of your choice. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, keeping a nice brisk pace, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way in, close the stopper. Next, sticking on that one red spring, we're going to come to a full plank. Toes curled under, heels up against the shoulder blocks. You're going to press the carriage away, draw it back in. Nice long neck. Press the carriage away, draw it back in. If you have a lot of stability, you could get a longer press out than I have here. I'm still rebuilding core strength after some time away from ab work. So this is all you're getting today. Take what you can. Good. Bring it back in, knees down. Very nice. Next, let's add on that other red spring. We're going to go into elephant. So coming up to standing on the reformer, heels up against the shoulder blocks. Toes are going to be lifted, finding a nice flat back. I'm going to push the carriage away, draw it in. Push the carriage away, draw it in. Trying to find both a hamstring stretch, but really more lower abdominal work here. Think about sending your tailbone and your sits bones back behind you. Good, push it as far back as you can comfortably. Scoop with the abs as you come in. Let's go for 2 and 1. Very nice. Now what we're going to do is lift the back leg behind you. You can have it way up to the ceiling or at 90 degrees. I'm going to push back, bring it in. 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 Again, if you've got the range, feel free to take it way up or wherever you can get it. Even if it's down here, that's fine. Good. Close the stopper, leg out to the side. Again, low is fine or high, wherever you can get it. Push back, bring it in. Push back, bring it in. 3, 2, hip square, 1. All the way to the front. Most people are going to bend the knee here. If you have range and flexibility, you can extend the legs straight. Push back, bring it in. Whatever works for you. Push back. Good. Last 2 and 1. Close the carriage. Let's go for the other side. Ooh, that one's brisk. I'm sweating. I don't know about you. So square off the hips. Left leg back wherever you can get it, even if it's low. Hips nice and square. Push out, bring it in. Push out, bring it in. Stable torso. Good. Last 2 and 1. Very nice. Leg to the side, wherever you can get it. Out, in, out, in. Definitely feeling some burn through those left glutes. Good. Last 1. Very nice. Leg to the front, straight or bent, whatever works for you. Out and in. Control with your abs. Good. Last 2 and 1. Good. Both legs long. Just take a quick stretch, letting the torso release, lifting up the toes, roll the spine up. Very nice work, guys. We're going to flip to 1 red spring, finish up in our scooter stretch here. Toes of the right foot on the outside of the machine, both hands on the foot bar in front of you. Square off the hips so both hips are pointing forward like high beams, and we're going to just tuck the pelvis under, send the knee back. Nice quad stretch, nice hip flexor stretch here. Just kind of flossing this back and forth for a moment. Good. Now, chest proud, shoulders wide. Going to relax through the lumbar spine, send the carriage back. Open up through the chest. Allow a little bit more mobility through that low back. Just observe what feels different about this when you let the range really go. Good. And bring it back to close. Next time we're going to extend both legs. Find your split, whatever that means for you today. Big breath in, exhale. Draw to a close. We're going to go for the other side. So, left foot against the front edge of the machine, right foot, toes curled under up against that shoulder block. Hips square, pelvis tucked under, chest up. We're just going to floss that right leg forward and back. Supporting with your core, chest is lifted, ears drawn back as best as you can. Just feeling that hip flexor, psoas type of stretch. Good. Now we're going to relax through the lumbar spine, really open up, making sure both hip bones are pointing forward like those high beams. Lift the chest. You could even arch back a little bit if you like. Good. Inhale, bring it back. Next time we go back, we're going to find our version of a split, whatever that means for you. I am very flexible. You may not be. That's totally fine. In fact, you might be better off in some ways. So just make sure those shoulders are relaxed down and draw the carriage in slowly with a close. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please subscribe. If you want to continue the workout, I'm going to add a video here that you might enjoy. And I also did a 10-day program that I think you might like, which I'm going to link down below. Please come back and join me soon. Have a great day.